I'm Sorrow, and this is my digital story for independent learning. In the very beginning, I've set up two objectives for myself. For listening, I want to learn about the way to mark down the details when I'm listening to others. I want to learn about this because I found it is very important for us to mark down details when I'm listening to others. Because for examination or for the listen to a lecture, it is very important. So I want to learn about it. For speaking, I want to learn about the weak form, verb stress, and intonation. Because it seems that the English speaker usually listen to the dress and understand the meaning just by the dress. So I think it is important to know how to put the dress and weak and study the intonation. For the first goal, I planned to read some books about shorthand and then listen to the tape and mark down the detail for practicing. But once I searched the word shorthand on the internet, I found that the shorthand is meaning the other type of A to E set system. So it is difficult for me to learn it and use it because I've already learned A to Z. But luckily I found something called speed hand on the internet, which just need to use the first half of the word. And so it do not require to write the full word down, which is my weakness. And then I've do some practice. I've used a program on the internet. And I try to write down the program by listening to it. But I also found it difficulty to use the system I found on internet. So I tried to write down the first two letters of the word and create my own symbol. Because it is not necessary for us to show our writing to others. So I think it is not necessary for us to follow our other symbol system. And I'll use my system for one word. But of course, to mark down the details of a speech, not only writing fast is required, but also being able to extract the details from the speech. So I want to practice my listening skill on extracting details. Pick two songs and then delete some words from the crystals and then fill in the blanks when I listen to it. Before the exercise, I thought it is very easy for me to finish the task, but in fact it is not an easy task because the singer sings the song in a different ways, different from speaking. So I don't think it is a good idea for us to learning how to extract the details from listening to a song. So then I pick up speech and blank some word of the speech and then listening to the speech and then fill in the blank. And this time I just need to listen to the speech for 2 times to finish the task. And there is only 2 possible explanations which can explain this great step. First, my listening skills has getting better, but it seems it is impossible for me to have this great improvement in a short period. So it may be because of a speech is more similar to speaking than a song. So for the future planning, I think it is a good way for me to practice extracting details from this way. And then I shift my attention to the word stress. For learning word stress, I've found a web page about it, and then I read it for have a skin touch on the word stress. But it seems it is too skin level, it is too simple for me to learn. So I go to find a book to read about the word stress, which called English Phonetic and Phonology. From this book, I've learned about the word stress, weak form, and rhythm. By reading this book, I found that there is some weak form words, which should be weak when we read it. But there are some exceptions, such as when the weak form word is being contracted by the people, for the people, of the people, and being side. And I have learned some called regressive and progressive. Just like in there is pronounced in it. It is a kind of progressive. But it seems that it is not what I want to learn, which is the way to place, solve, and pause to make my speech more effective. So I decided to learn it from example. Then I found a speech from the internet, which is Obama president-elect's victory speech. I listened to his speech and then at the same time I read his script and mark when he paused, and then study the mark and see if I can find the relationship between the marks and the sentence. After I've done this, I found two rules. Pause at the punctuation and before or after the point that we want to point out. And after that, I found that it is not necessary to voice up the key points, which is very different from what I know. So then I pick another speech, and I do the same thing, and focus on when the speaker voice up and voice low. And I found that there is no fixed rules of giving a speech. It is just depends on which effect we want. Since it is many ways to do the speech, so I think I will keep doing this for a lot of times in the future. It is my independent learning from last season. Thanks for your patience.